What's up, Star Wars fans? I'm not going to call you a scumbag because we're going to get serious for a second. Today we're wearing hockey jerseys from our local sports ball team, Toronto Maple Leafs, who are in the playoffs. Yay. But out of respect for the loss of the Saskatchewan team's Humboldt Broncos, it's hashtag Humboldt Strong. Today in Canada, possibly worldwide, but specifically here in Canada, we are having a Jersey Day. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, hashtag Jersey for...
Yeah. So you're not supposed to, but if you like, you can wear a jersey or a green. I'm just mesmerized by the sound of my fingers. Ribbon. Really cool idea. I've actually, have you gone out today? Have you seen a lot of people in jerseys?
No, I've only come here.
No,
but I was listening to the radio and on my social media feeds has been nonstop people in jerseys. So yeah, it's been cool to see. And also hockey sticks left outside of people's houses.
Yeah, to be turned into candy canes. No, to respect the loss of a hockey team. For those of you who don't know, there was a massive car accident when their bus was on way to another game or what have you, because hockey teams travel by bus usually. It was hit by a 16-wheeler or something like that at a somewhat not dangerous. Well, now they're saying it's a very dangerous intersection, but there was a huge car crash and most of the team was passed away, or the ones that were survived have also passed away. So it's been a tragic story here in Canada. So yeah, Canadians are bonding together on our national sport, which is not hockey. It's actually lacrosse, but you know what I mean. What we are known for, hockey, unofficial national sport. So that's why we're wearing it, out of solidarity. Now let's get to the Star Wars. I'm Brock.
I'm James.
And this is the Rebel Scum podcast, where we talk about Reylo and Reylo affiliated hate speech. No. But now we're going to focus on Reylo. Today we're going to talk about Han Solo, because I don't know about you, James. I am super psyched for this movie.
I didn't like the trailer.
You didn't? That must have been an awkward 30-minute video we did a couple days ago for you.
I loved it.
You need to communicate when it's hurting you inside, man.
Well, I saw it and I said, this is a disgrace to my childhood. That is not my Han. I have to say, well, everyone knows I've been looking forward to it. And when the trailer came on, I sat through American Idol. Like 20 to 30 minutes of American Idol.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you just tape it and watch something else? Like me, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Because I wanted to get the reaction on as soon as possible for everybody that wanted to see it as soon as humanly possible. So I sat there, and once Mr. Ryan Seacrest said, "Hey, Solo," I paused the TV,
got ready,
record, and then Erin came on. She says, "I want to be in this too." And so she did it in her bath mask thing. And
so hold on. You're watching a show you do not want to watch. Nothing against American Idol. American Idol, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great show.
But you weren't even watching it with your wife, who is one of those people that would actually probably enjoy that show?
Full disclosure. Nothing against American Idol, because it's for some people. Yeah. She does not do that show.
Oh, really? Which is funny, because Erin's a very musical person. Yeah. Well, it's, American Idol's been a long time.
Can I just say, I've only seen American Idol 2 other times in my entire life. Once because of Erin, but years ago, when Mariah Carey was on it. Yeah. And way before, I saw an episode in college.
Yeah, when it first came out, sort of thing?
Yeah, it was like the second season I saw, it was like both times I watched maybe 7 minutes. So this is the most I've ever sat through. Yeah. But I don't remember it ever looking like a karaoke show. It was it looked like they were in some grungy, I don't know, it was... Set deck is not their forte. I guess they're trying to save costs. But anyway, it was fantastic. But I sat there to do it so I could do the review right away. Yeah. And I was just painfully going through it. But I follow Star Wars Newsnet on Twitter. And they kept updating. They're like, okay, it's going to be the 4th break. And once they did that, it was already after the 3rd break. So I was like, well, okay. Guess it's the next break. So I was ready for the next break. But I thought it would be good. But I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I did.
Well, that's good that Canadian. Well, did you watch it on an American channel or a Canadian channel?
It was it was American, but
yeah,
I put it on the American channel because that's what I always do. I mean, I love Canada, but if I'm watching something American, it's on the American channel. So what happened was, there would be like a half of a American commercial, then the Canadian feed would be like, no Canadian commercials
Yeah,
only.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, I don't care about McDonald's burgers, $2 more than American
But
burgers.
that's why I asked, because you might have got screwed out of it.
So I thought of that. But then in the first segment of the show, Ryan Seacrest says, and we have a special solo trailer coming. So I was like, okay, they're going to do it today on Monday Night Football, and it's going to be a part of the show.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't count as, it was a commercial break without technically being a commercial break.
Gotcha.
So
That
he
makes
threw
more
to it
sense.
as part of the show. And whether or not it went to commercials after back to the show, I don't know. I stopped. But I was, and all the people that sang were great.
In the Han Solo trailer?
In the Han Solo trailer, Chewie's got a fantastic singing voice. No, so that's when because at one point I was like, oh, maybe I'll just wait for YouTube.
Yeah.
And then when he said that, I was like, okay, we're gonna get this in the Great White North.
Yay, that's us. Great White North. Welcome to Canada.
So we did a video on it on some of our favorite things. Anything that you didn't say in that video that absolutely blew your mind?
Who, me? Like,
Well, I'm not.
your video.
They can
They're
let us know in the comments below. But I'm talking to you. Yeah.
about what in the video you made or the trailer for Han Solo?
Well, we did a video yesterday.
Yes.
Or 2 days ago. whatever.
Yes.
And you were like, these are parts that I like. Anything else that you stood out?
I don't know. I like the part where Erin came in her mask. No, not that one. No, I don't know. I'm floored by that trailer. I'm like, yeah, that looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's great. I'm very excited. I think it's probably the first time that I was like, yeah, Alden Ehrenreich. I mean, like, I never had a problem with the casting, but like, it's impressed me, especially after we've had to listen to the news of like he doesn't know how to act and blah 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 blah. This, I'm like, wow, this looks good. Like, so the more I see of him talking and just, existing, and I'm like, yeah, this will work. This makes sense as a Han Solo thing.
Yeah, I gotta say, Luke Heeg on I hope I said that right. He said on Facebook, wouldn't it be cool if he was now played Indiana Jones? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, guys. Last week we said we'd give this puppy away.
Ooh la la! I want that.
Can you see that? That is a Star Wars T-shirt. It is
Cool.
white. It was given to us by John Legend.
John Legend.
John Legend, aka Jesus Christ Superstar. He gave us that.
Yeah, that's like some limited run of like an artist style or something. There's artist collection. Flip it over. Kevin Lyons.
He's an artist, illustrator, and creative director based in Brooklyn, New York. His monster characters have appeared on whatever. We're not.
Yeah.
He's a great artwork though, and thanks to John Legend, Miranda, for giving this to us. So we asked a trivia question at the end of the show last week.
Yeah.
A bunch of you gave your response. We'll let the winner know who you are. But here are the people that answered correctly: Heath Siegler, Heidi Fedor, who technically didn't answer right. She said B. Arthur. But we're gonna
That's awesome though.
we're gonna. I mean that. What do you want to say?
That might not have been the same cantina though, but
did we specify which one it was?
I think I said the cantina on Tatooine where our original cast meets for the first time.
All right.
Because I was like, wait, you gotta be more specific.
Do you want to say what the answer was?
It's Chalman. He is I believe I'm pronouncing it right. He is a Wookiee, which is amazing that there's a Wookiee living on Tatooine. And he wears a vest.
How can you survive? Shady White Guy, Cody Jenkins, Disney Desi, not Andrew Fantasia.
He does not count.
He is
not even a person.
He is I had to act for him on the weekend, and I will tell you this. I did a great job. And the winner of the contest, John Hine.
John Hine.
Thank you guys all so much for answering correctly. We might have a trivia question at the end where you can win something else.
Yeah.
But anyway, John,
that's a good one. Is it an extra large? It must be.
Yeah, we can shrink it if you want. There you go, right there. So that's yours. And now. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, Brock might keep it. So if you don't want it, let us know. Because Brock really, really wants it.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars solo trailer. What the hell? The Solo A Star Wars Story trailer. One thing I noticed afterwards is all the articles are out now. Forbes is staying quiet. You know the clickbait website Forbes?
Yeah. They're
staying very quiet. Now they're talking about how Jurassic World is going to beat Avengers in the box office.
Wow.
Well, they want the... but they used to say that Solo was a disaster and you shouldn't go see it.
Yeah.
But now they're staying quiet. But there's a lot of other articles saying that the expectations are renewed and excitement is huge for Solo, a Star Wars story. So now with that and the $150 million tracking, do you think that's going to work out now? Or do you think more people are excited? Or do you think people are still like, nah?
I feel like this is the problem of knowing too much about what's happening on set. Because it's sort of like, before we even see anything, not even like a poster or stills from like behind the scenes or a trailer, people were already making these assumptions of what the movie is going to be like. Plus, it happened right in the wake of the "Do you think Last Jedi is a good movie?" question. And so people are just on their mind, just sort of like, I don't want to say hatred because it's just a movie. Oh, but like hatred's a strong word. Like you can just not like the movie, or you're just annoyed that's not, or it wasn't up to your expectations. So from Last Jedi. So that's sort of gone over to Han Solo even before we saw so. But I think people are going to hate a movie regardless, because when the Super Bowl teaser came out for the teaser for the teaser, I went crazy. And I was at a Super Bowl party. And there was one guy that was like, they didn't show anything. I'm like, what? They showed a lot for what it was, and it was a teaser trailer for another trailer. Like, come on. But like, that's just people. So like, do I think... Well, the original question is like, what do I think of all of a sudden people liking this?
Do you think it's legit? Do you think there's a renewed sense of excitement?
I think so. I think people are gonna be. I think this movie's gonna do fine. Even though I'm behind anyone that just wants to boycott this movie. Great, do what you need to do, what you feel is best, because perhaps this will change how Star Wars movies are if people are actually mad about it. I don't know. But I think the movie's going to be fine. And I also don't think I should listen to anyone. I ever really want to listen to anyone on the internet. I know that I'm on the internet right now. You don't need to listen to people. Like, I don't know. Like, as much as I love the internet, it's a very strange place at times. So.
Oh, it's a very strange place.
It's a very strange.
It's a very, very strange
It's
place.
like being in a fever dream constantly.
I just kind of threw some shade at Forbes for the clickbait thing.
Yeah.
But in reality, that's how the internet operates. It's clickbait. And it sucks, but that's what it is.
I used to, like, when I took journalism at school, and I got away with so many fake articles, because I had to do, like, not fake articles, but like just articles I threw together with no research, because my professor was all gung-ho on writing for the internet. And people don't want to read articles per se. They want to read quick things. And the clickbait thing, which was just lists of stuff that's unimportant, but you're like, I go in for those things all the time just because I want to look at the pictures that they thought. But half the time it's like all crap anyway. So it's like, but that's how, you're right. That's how the internet works now. We have the attention span about 0. So.
It sucks, but that's what it is. So, it is. But I think from what I've seen on the internet, as someone who has been looking forward to this movie, and I've watched a lot of the hate videos, I think there's some people are shifting, but they're the people that weren't too like, I hate this movie with a passion. The people who are like, I hate this movie with a passion, still hate this movie with a passion. And they haven't seen the movie. Like I'm saying that I'm looking forward to the movie. It might be a terrible movie.
Yeah,
it
possibly.
could be. It's not going to be. It's going to be the hashtag they're the best Star Wars film. We all know that. Look, Ron Howard is not going to do a bad movie. I mean, he has, but he's not going to with a Kazan script. I just feel like what they did when they fired the other directors, who are now executive producers, Hollywood, fail upwards. They just remade the movie essentially. Like, and so that's the thing that's different from Rogue One. Is Rogue One they did reshoots and pickups and blah 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 blah. This one they're like, F it. Yeah. Let's just do the whole thing over again. You can keep some of the wide shots, and stuff like that, but overall, let's just redo it. And we need someone with a clear vision. Ronnie, Uncle Ron, get in here. Clean, just do what you do best, and that's make a movie based on a good script.
Yeah, I have no worries for this movie, quite frankly. So
I have two.
What's that?
One, I think she was gonna die. I love that I said that in the reaction as a joke.
Then in Han Solo 2, they're like, let's go back in time and save Chewbacca. The search for Chewbacca.
The search for Chewie.
The search for Chewie.
I don't have really any fears because I think the humor, what we've heard of the humor is the good kind of the old fashioned humor of old, not the new age over the top punchline like sitcom-y.
Yeah.
It's more like throwaway, like, oh, that's a good line. That's a good line. It's not like I'm not gonna name movies, but
and it's like, think of all the like callback lines that they're gonna put in this movie. Like, instead of, I have a bad feeling about this, it's like, I have a good feeling about this, and people are like, oh, like, yeah, like that is half of the dialogue for sure in this movie, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just like you kind of want to like get. It's like, why does he talk like that? And like that could be half your movie. It's like, he talks like this because blah 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 blah.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see him grow into Han Solo.
Exactly.
But anyway, let's move on to
Patreon. We have a Patreon. It's on patreon.com/rebelscumpodcast.
Very good.
That's it. Okay, bye.
4 tiers.
There's 4 tiers of a dove. Kiss from a rose.
Kiss from a rose.
I was like, what tears of a dove? Is like, this is what was like when doves cry. That's what I was going for.
But Batman Forever is a great movie. Val Kilmer is the best Batman.
Baby, I would like you to subscribe to our Patreon.
And then that U2 song.
There are 4 love, like kiss me, love me. Is that one?
Hold me, throw me, kiss me. And then in Batman and Robin, they got Smashing Pumpkins, and they did 2 songs. Does anyone know they did 2 songs? They did the first song on the album called "The Beginning Is the End Is the Beginning," and then the last song on the album, "The End Is the Beginning Is the End." I had it on CD.
And this is why Smashing Pumpkins did not sell out in Toronto.
Wow,
that's true. It's crazy.
When?
I think the concert may have already happened or is about to happen.
It's like a new concert, like not back in like the heyday.
No, sorry. It's a recent sort of thing.
Bulworth joke. Heather Graham and Steve Martin on a date, and she goes, "Do you like Smashing Pumpkins?" And Steve Martin says, "I love to do that." No, not Bulworth. Yeah, Bulworth. Wait,
not Bowfinger.
Bowfinger.
I was like, Bulworth is the one with Ghetto
Warren
Superstar.
Betty. Yeah. Tell me what you want.
Oh, that was a good song. Anyways, we have 4 tiers. Here they are. Tier 1, for $1 a month, you get early video stuff before everyone else, and then also cloning around that will be released TBA. Tier 2, $2 a month, all the stuff prior, plus Andrew's Star Wars Wikipedia project TBA.
He's insane.
Tier 3, $3 a month, you get all that, plus if you have some crazy theories or ideas that you want us to ramble on and on about, or if you have an idea for a top 5 or never tell me the odds or what we should wear, that's what you get. And the top tier, tier 4, is $10 a month. You get all that, plus we maybe, just maybe, we'll come to your birthday party. No, you get to be on the show. You could just come on to this show and we'll talk to you for a bit. Or you could be on any of the other shows, or the hallowed take on one of us, not us, because I do not like to do trivia, on Duel of Fates. I don't know. We'll talk about it. You know what my fear is? If I were to compete on Duel of Fates, I would just completely lose.
Oh, I would blank.
And what would the point of this podcast be anyway?
I did a trivia with Josh on the Den of Nerds, but the problem is he uses like an app and you have 10 seconds, but by the time he reads the question and my internet clicks in, it's like it's already passed. But like some trivia questions are really hard. I had to call a friend, so I didn't call Andrew because he keeps losing at these things. But yeah, anyway, guys, it's a lot of fun. Let's talk the villain of the Solo story. Apparently, Enfys Nest is a female.
Ooh, where did this get dropped?
The internet.
No, I know. Well, sorry.
It's been all over.
I have not seen it because when I saw it on the rundown, I was like, "Say what?"
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that.
But the question is, who the heck? We had this question anyway based on the trailer. Who the heck is Enfys Nest?
Yeah.
And is Enfys Nest the actual villain, or is Nest the villain, but Bettany is the villain?
Yeah.
But Nest is the one that they're trying to steal from?
Good question.
There's so many villains, my head hurts.
I'm down with that. It would be nice to have a female villain. Because really, is it only Phasma we've had in the past that's female and villain? But here's my worry about it. Enfys Nest is female, Phasma's female, but they both wear masks. We don't see Phasma's face until it's blown half off and it's just like, hi. I mean, I think the thing about Star Wars is like masks are like what's under there and you want to be surprised by it, right? Vader takes his mask off. You're like, he's a gremlin. And everybody wants to know what Boba Fett looks like, and Stormtroopers are like, what's under there? And that's why when they would put out those Stormtrooper action figures that were from like the comics, the Oprah's like, it's a woman, that's crazy. So my worry is like as much as we have a female character, and they're not like Enfys Nest is not the only female character in this movie. My worry is like, is there going to be criticism that's like, oh, we have a female villain twice now in Star Wars movies where we don't get to see their face. Why? Like, that's my first reaction to it. Because I don't know anything about Enfys Nest. I don't know, like, I can't even, like, figure out who she could possibly be. I'm kind of totally fine with her not being just a new character. So my question is, like, will the mask come off? Because it's a really cool, helmet. The helmet's really cool. And like I've said in the past, like I get the sense of like maybe they're going for a First Nation sort of look because it's like cowboys and I was gonna say Indians, which is not accurate, but it's a Western style movie, and we have like gunslingers. We have this like Man in Black sort of character with what's his face, Dryden Voss. Like, oh, perfect. Here's our like First Nations tribe that they tangle with. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I think that's cool that it's not what we expected. It's a female. I always just assume it's a male, which says a lot about me.
Well, this is from digitalspy.com.
Digital Spy.
This is from a French news outlet, has described her as Enfys Nest is an extremely dangerous marauder who has quickly forged an infamous reputation for her. Infamous or infamous? They're more than famous. They're infamous. Three amigos. We're just throwing out the good movies today. An infamous reputation for herself and her gang of pirates, the Cloud Riders. That is from the Mary Sue. What a great name for her.
The Mary Sue. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they're on those like swoop bikes, right? Like, ooh. Yeah. I'm very intrigued. I think that there's so much we just do not know. We like really the first piece of information is like that's not Dryden Voss, that's Enfys Nest, and it's a woman. The end. Like we don't know anything else because we don't see them really tangle at all. And in the trailer, just like here I am standing with a group of my marauders. The end.
What if that's just like part of the movie? Well, no, it looks like they're the train heist.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the train heists are Han and the Imperials on essentially the same side, trying to get whatever it is from Enfys Nest.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not Han versus the Imperials. The Imperials are after whatever Enfys got, and Han's after whatever.
I saw it the other way because I assume he's in that ship that the swoop bikes are like near.
Just trying to flip it.
Flip the scripts, yo.
Flip it.
I was trying to think of that Missy Elliott song.
We're just full of. But what like it's a possible because we don't know how the villain's gonna play out at all.
Yeah, exactly.
What if there is no villain and everyone's just having a good time?
everyone's having a good time, and there's going to be tea and cake at the end. Ooh, I hope it's chocolate. That's cool though. I want to know more. I think I just saw on Instagram they're showing images from the Topps trading card collection thing. And,
is that what Venomous did?
Maybe. I'm not sure. It might have been Star Wars Fanaticus because I follow a lot of Star Wars things on Instagram. But no, it wasn't drawing. It was actually like pictures and stuff like that. It looked pretty cool, a little snazzy. But like I like that because you kind of get a reveal of things, and that's why like when the toys all got announced last week, it's like, ooh, what's that? What
Friday,
that?
They come out tomorrow.
Oh my goodness!
Hello.
I kind of want to get the Lando exclusive for Hot Topic, where he's wearing that fun shirt that looks like.
Want to get a Lando?
Rocket Pops. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
But yeah, the toys look really cool. It's very exciting. Han Solo's great. Yeah, so I don't know, like Enfys Nest. It's a lady. Dude looks like a lady.
Well, here's the thing. We're just talking about the plot. Does the plot even matter for this story, or is it just the fact that it's a Star Wars story and we're gonna have a good time? Is that all that matters?
I think, you know what? I think the reason that there seems to be so many possible villains in this movie is that, you know, he's going into this world of villains and criminals and, you know, a seedy underbelly of the galaxy. So it's like, I think the story is going to be like, okay, here I go. And then he just like more and more trouble, which is kind of Han's whole introduction in Star Wars is like, I'm a smuggler. I'm on the run from a gigantic space slug because I did not finish a job. So I feel like the premise of this film will definitely have him. And then you get the whole Beckett saying like, oh, don't trust anyone because when they betray you, it won't feel as bad. It's like you're dealing with a lot of people that are duplicitous. So, boom.
Foreshadowing.
For show.
Yeah, I just want to go along for the ride on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, yeah, plots are fun. But I think the plot will be I think it's going to, like, somebody said it looks like Indiana Jones. And I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what you want in this movie? Like, Han Solo is kind of Indiana. I mean, he is. It's the same actor.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think after The Last Jedi, with all the arguing and the debating and the hate and the love and the Rian Johnson not stopping to talk about what he's doing in it, I hope Ron Howard doesn't answer one question.
Yeah.
About like why he made a choice. I hope it was just like, yeah, it was the third best one.
I'm too busy working on Arrested Development now.
But you know what I mean? Like I just want to have a good time. Now, the story should be good. I'm not saying it shouldn't be good.
Oh, for sure.
But it should be entertaining. But it's like Rogue One is, hey, we have to get the Death Star plans. And it's not even like it doesn't like only half the movie is actually about that. Yeah. But like that's what we're just like we're fine with that. We're all in on that. Yeah. That's kind of what I want from this. I just want to see. I mean, this is the thing that's different though about this is actually a character piece essentially. Yeah, I mean, whatever happens in this movie probably won't have a massive impact on everything else. It might, but it's more of like learning about Han Solo. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. Rogue One, stuff that happens in that impacts comics and the movies to an extent. But or maybe not movies, like TV shows. So like, yeah. So all of a sudden, Jeddah is a thing in different, whatever. But like Han Solo, and then also like the whole theme of like who's good or bad in this war. Like what are we striving for? But like, which then gets touched on by DJ in Last Jedi. So it's sort of like I think I've said it before. It's like they're like trying to get at something. I feel like. But they're just slowly grooming it. I don't think anything like that will happen in Han Solo, per se. I don't know. I'm game for whatever. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Let us know what you guys are looking forward to most seeing in the Han Solo Star Wars story. And does the plot matter to you? Or are you guys like, I'm just a Star Wars fan. I'm all in on this one. Let's move on to the graphic that I can't seem to get to click. This one right here. It's called...
Never tell me the odds.
Today's odds are once again brought to us in part by Joshua Lucas from Venom Nerds. Every comment that we get related to the Never Tell Me the Odds he will donate 3,000 pounds.
Of what? Lego bricks. Ooh, gonna build that Death Star.
You know, Lego's weird. You can't just get I haven't seen regular Lego. Like, it's all like sets.
Yeah. I think if you dive deep enough into like a toy store section or like onto their website, you could buy, like you're talking about, just having colored bricks, right?
Yeah, because I want to get some for my nephew, and I don't want to get him like the Spider-Man pack because he'll make it and then break it and then he can't. It's useless.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Smashing Pumpkins. The beginning is the end is the beginning. The odds of Lando telling Han to never tell him the odds.
I'm going to go, I like this one, but I'm going to go like 25% because he's a gambler and he always wants to know the odds. Han is like, he charges head first into things. He's like, I don't need to, I'm in control of my own destiny. Lando is sort of, as much as he is smooth, he's very calculated.
I'm going to go 11% because, I just, that's a, I mean, Han isn't the only one that says it, but Lando's not going to say it. Anyway, you know what I mean. Odds of no one saying I have a bad feeling about this and instead will be much more positive, like I've got a really good feeling about this that we saw in the trailer.
No one's saying it?
No one's going to say I've got a bad
feeling. I'm going to go 100% because I think, is there ever a situation where it's said multiple times in other movies?
New Hope.
New Hope they say a couple times?
And BB-8 says it in Last Jedi.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
I feel like it's just it has to be like said once at least. So, but like this is a new spin on it. So like it counts as the never tell me that. I have a bad feeling of that movie.
I kind of hope that he goes, I got a really good feeling with this. And then there's like problems. He goes, I got a bad feeling. My feelings changed. It's all changed. I'm going to go full Brock. And the final odd today is the odds of Maury Povich showing up and the odds of Enfys Nest being Han's mother. No, Han, I am your mother.
I don't know. Like we just went over this. We don't know anything about this character. And 0%. Like I feel like he has to be an orphan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I love recently? We've been talking about this forever, but recently the artist illustrations of young Han on Kashyyyk for Revenge of the Sith is starting to pop up online. The people are just
yeah.
It's like, yeah, but that's one of the things that I'm glad George Lucas didn't do because that would ruin this movie.
It's not in the movie.
No, just it was planned it. That was like original draft. He wanted it.
Original draft.
But anyway, this is all starting to like surface now, and everyone's really thrilled about it. I'm gonna go 0 on Enfys Nest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go 0 as well. Like it's just like
it's cool, but it's wrong.
But yeah, like I don't think Han really needs to have some kind of parental support because he's always off on his own. His last name is Solo, for crying out loud. How crazy would it be if it turns out his name is something else and he just changes to Solo because he doesn't need anyone in the galaxy?
Look, Bob Iger said we learned how he gets his name. People freaked out because his name wasn't going to be Han Solo. And then people were like, well, no, he means he's got, like his reputation.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, what do you guys think? Let us know. Let's move on to
Hollow News. Live
from Coruscant.
Hollow News. Okay, so first story. Lando Calrissian is a stylish gentleman.
That's the yellow shirt you like.
It's just like that yellow shirt just pops like it's crazy, but it almost like it's great how it still gives a shout out to what he wears in Empire Strikes Back, even though they're like slightly different colors. Like just the blue, it still like imitates what the blue is trying to do as well, even though I find the yellow much better. But anyways, Alden Ehrenreich and Donald Glover were on the Star Wars show this week, and they did an interview with one of their peoples, and they talked about the movie, of course, because what else would they talk about on the Star Wars show? But Donald Glover made a few comments about the style of Lando, which arguably is one of the most important part of that character. He said when he was cast, he watched Empire Strikes Back immediately, but then watched a lot of 70s cinema to grasp the style and swagger that was sort of what Lando is based on. He also commented that the movie will show how Han and Lando aren't perfect yet, as in comparison of them in the original movies. So it's sort of like this is how they become who they are, how they're still trying to figure out what they're gonna be. So and Donald Glover mentions that, saying like Lando's hair and facial hair choices in this movie are kind of questionable, where it's sort of like you're young and you're trying to define yourself, but you're still not quite sure like how your body will fit in a certain clothing, or like how you'll look with this type of like beard or something like that. Next story. The Star Wars is up to some crazy marketing, because if you've seen the poster that came out this week, when was that? When did the trailer come out? 2 days ago? Sunday. The poster came out immediately after, and it showed that the name of the actors in the movie were at the top of the poster, which is not usually what happens with a lot of films, but specifically Star Wars. They've always sort of been more about the characters than the actual actors. But it seems that Lucasfilm has switched it up a bit, because they want to push the character, the actors a little bit more after, like sort of like, oh, I don't know, well, these people, maybe I don't trust. Even though there's a lot of big names in this, I think they're changing the marketing a little. There's possibly two reasons. A shift in strategy, one that's more talent focused and made to reinforce the cast in the minds of the audience. And two, it's using the placement of those names as a way to compensate for the negative press that surrounds the production, essentially putting them there as a vote of confidence. So that's cool. I love the poster.
A vote of no confidence.
Did I look at the poster and be like, ooh, names? Nope.
I noticed the names actually.
But it is what it is. Like, who cares? It looks cool.
Internet.
Nerfers. L3, our fun new robot buddy, as it's confirmed by the last trailer that we can call her L3, which is not a surprise, because usually with droids they call them by the first couple of letters of their names, i.e. Well, no, that's not true. 3PO was the last little bit, but R2 was what I was thinking of. It was the costume designer Glenn Dillon posted on, I assume is Glenn a male name? His Instagram to share photos of the finished product of the L3 costume, and where he said a shout out to all involved in making this costume come to life. That's right, folks. The excellent Phoebe Walker-Bridge wasn't wearing a mocap suit. She was wearing what you see here, and the excellent VFX team removed her and replaced her in post with the skeleton and guts that you see here. So she's actually in the actual robot costume, and then of course green screened out, which is awesome. And then nothing new. I mean, I believe they did that with Anthony Daniels in Phantom Menace, and then of course Kenny Baker and Anthony Daniels were always sort of in their costumes, so nothing new. But like, it's pretty cool, because I didn't think, oh, maybe that's a person. I definitely thought mocap, but real cool. You got to give it up for people that want to wear those costumes that are probably not fun to wear. And Grandpa Mark Hamill's back at it again. He says he does not care about any future Star Wars movies.
He's out.
And before we massively panic, let's find out what he actually said. He says he doesn't care about returning the franchise after the death of Carrie Fisher specifically. It really has tarnished my ability to enjoy it to his fullest, seeing his friend who now is no longer with us. I don't care anymore on that level, because Han Solo is gone, Luke is gone, and you just can't get the band back together the way you wanted it to be. And it shouldn't be that way. Rather than being sorry that we can't have more of her, Carrie Fisher or Princess Leia, I'm just grateful that we had the time with her that we did. So, it's harsh to hear it, but like, we got to remember this gentleman, Mark Hamill's in his late 60s. So as much as, you know, Star Wars was a big thing for his life, you know, you gotta understand, like, I'm done with this. Plus, his character is dead. So,
his character's gonzo.
What exactly are we supposed to do?
Spoiler alert,
Outside of
man.
a Force Ghost, which would be cool. But who knows?
I don't think he's come back as a Force Ghost now.
Cool.
Yeah, probably will.
It is what it is, you know. Maybe in the future we'll get him, but Star Wars is a hot topic. And
but
people
would
just
you,
like,
here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather Luke never return to the big screen post Last Jedi?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you like him to return as a Force Ghost?
I'm okay if he never returns. Because it's sort of like the story ends. But it is confusing because his story, he starts the story. And now the end of the Skywalker saga is supposed to be next episode.
Well, he doesn't start the Skywalker saga.
True. Sorry. That's right. But his story, his Luke Skywalker story, right? But like the Skywalker saga is him and Anakin, so
see, I think there was I've said this before, there was a miscalculation on Rian Johnson's part in terms of Luke's arc in The Last Jedi. I really think he thought a lot of people would have felt that what Luke does at the end would have been the biggest moment in Star Wars, basically, and everyone would be like, perfect.
Yeah.
Pop. But instead, I don't think it was enough for people.
Yeah.
And that's but at the same time, if you bring him back as a Force Ghost, then what just happened is even less important than what it was. Like that should be his final send off. Should be, I am not the last Jedi. They are going to keep going. That's how I feel. But I don't. Let me know what you guys think.
The Jedi has to end. It was like, I will not be the last Jedi.
Yeah.
Boom. It was like,
because that's supposed to be like his arc, and he comes back. But I feel like, again, I've said this before, the movie has a lot of execution problems. I really found that with the deleted scenes. When you watch, you're like, oh man, that scene's good, except it's not done well. Like it's scatterbrained a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know what he was going for with Luke's arc, and how in his mind Luke had to die for the greater good, to become a legend in the galaxy, to show like for that. But it doesn't come across like that. And I know some people get it, but there are a hell of a lot of people that don't.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't get it. And if a lot of people don't get it, I just feel like that's kind of the misstep. And like it's not strong enough. But I just think if you bring him back in 9, then it really, really lessens that all, like even more so, to the point of then why even bother killing him?
Yeah.
Like then why bother if he's just gonna come back? Like once he's gone, he should be gone from the story for good, so that he can be a legend throughout the galaxy. And a legend for us as well as viewers, which is really what it's about. It's about him becoming like the legend for the galaxy, but it has to be a legend for us watching. We have to believe that he's become that legend.
I don't know. I think it's a good way, like the way he ends goes out, but then like you said, it doesn't really fit with the rest of the movie. And then of course, if he was a character that wasn't the main character of the original trilogy, we would have accepted it fine. It's like, oh, the grumpy guy saves the day. But he's also Luke Skywalker. It's like,
I think honestly, and look, there's a lot of word that Trevorrow might have got fired over this. Because he wanted Skywalker to come back. But I think in a Yoda-esque way, it might even be more impactful, empowering, if Luke does this, collapses on the rock but doesn't die, and then Rey goes back to see him last time, and then he dies like Yoda, and he's like, I'm just it really drained the crap out of me. Like I did that, and she's like, but you don't understand, you've become this, like, and he's like, I just can't do that, and then he's like, I'm dead. Yeah. Like it just kind of, anyway, whatever. That's what happened.
Yeah. It is funny how all of a sudden everyone's got like these stories about like, oh, this is what it's like to work for Lucasfilm. It's like, come on, guys, like.
Well, yeah.
Because it's like Trevorrow said something. I think Gareth Edwards or someone else from Rogue One said something.
Oh, that was Gilroy.
So it's just like, I don't even read them anymore.
I read the Gilroy one because he talked about how Rogue One was a complete mess. But the thing with Rogue One being a mess that I'm okay with hearing is, first of all, it's been over a year and a half. So it's like, okay, it's not like it's a week later.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, fine, a year and a half. And we all know that there were problems because they reshot it. And he said, yeah, it was a mess, but I came in, I saw it, I said, well, this is what you need to do. And that's what we did. And I'm like, well, that's just filmmaking. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's not, whatever.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Top 5. Top 5 today is brought to you by us because... No, actually, this is someone's idea, right?
Christine Allison sent this one in.
Ooh.
Can you do a top 5 novels for beginners?
No.
Brock Brock doesn't read.
I do not read. I prefer radio plays.
So you got the radio play where John Lithgow plays Yoda from the 70s, which is great. My top 5 is a little weird. What's my number? I'll just go my number 5.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is from a certain point of view.
That's my number 5 too.
Oh, well, there you go.
Why did you choose that one?
I just thought it's a cool. I lost my top 5. I just thought it was a cool entry point for Star Wars fans because it kind of lets you know. Sorry, I actually lost it.
I agree.
It gives you like the little tidbits of stories that happen around.
I think it's a good starter because one, you're like, oh, I get this. I've seen this movie, but these are all it's like that's a neat idea because I think that's the importance of reading these books because they can expand on things. You can hear people's inner monologues, right? So it's a good one to just sort of get in the mindset of like how massive the galaxy is character wise, and it's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if this was actually happening when you were watching it? So, and it's a very easy book to read. They're not all of them are good, but like they're not all super long, but it's a good way to like, here, there's more to this than you knew. So
what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the ongoing Star Wars series by Marvel Comics. Just because it gives you that the current, I don't think they've gone past Empire Strikes Back, but it's the storylines between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. So the first series was like they just sort of throw you in the fight immediately. Like they almost step on Vader with an AT-AT. I believe Han, Leia, and Chewbacca get to hold lightsabers at one point. It's also the first time that like you get to see Vader finding out that Luke's last name is Skywalker. So it's like, it's a good way to get, again, the idea of like, there's more to these stories than we know. And like, here's how all this happens. So it's a good, and it's easy to read, but it doesn't like, it's part of the original series. So if you don't like the new stuff, you're like, here's some old stuff and here's what you really want. So
my number 4 is Lost Stars.
Lost Stars.
Lost Stars is a great book. It's a YA novel, so it's actually a very easy read. It's a quick read, but it's fun. It takes place mostly during the original trilogy stuff. You see the Death Star. You see young Princess Leia before we know that she's Princess Leia, the rebel. And so we follow an Imperial and a rebel who grew up together, and they are star-crossed lovers. But it's actually a really good book, and if you haven't watched Star Wars at all, it's still a good story. But it fits you right in there. And then when you watch movies, you'll be like, oh, look, that moment happened there, that moment happened there. And then when you've seen the movies, you're like, oh, cool, that was happening during that. So that's my number 4. My number 3 is Star Wars Made Easy. It's just like, that should really be number 1. It's a book for beginners. Yeah. It's fun if you know Star Wars, but if you don't know Star Wars, it's also a lot of fun. There's a lot of pictures in it, which really helps you out with it.
And I'll add to that by saying any of the DK encyclopedias or the art of the films where like, oh, you're like, oh yeah. You'll like the film a little bit more and you'll understand things a little bit better.
And what's your number 3?
That was my number 3. Sorry. I changed that to my number 3 to match with yours.
Oh, gotcha. All right, my number 2, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. This is, when you say my number 1, you'll get it. But this is a sequel to Star Wars, the movie, that never happened in film. So this was written because George Lucas, no matter what, was going to make a sequel to Star Wars, but he didn't think he'd have a budget and didn't think he would have Harrison Ford. So there's no Han Solo in it. Luke and Leia may or may not have sex in a cave.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and it's written by, I forgot his name. Oh my! He wrote TFA. Well, he's a big star. Anyway, frick. Now I forgot his name.
Jason Fry?
No, that's Last Jedi.
Oh, right.
I'll remember this the minute I hit stop. Anyway.
Messina?
No, it's just Alan Dean Foster.
Wendick.
Alan Dean Foster. Alan Dean Foster. He wrote it.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Anyway, it's a really good book. You got to read it, but it's a different take on everything, and so I'm going to say go with that one.
Cool. My number 2 is Star Wars Shattered Empire, the comics miniseries. Because it was, I think, the very first thing Marvel put out for Star Wars once they got the license back. And it was really interesting because it's sort of like what happens after Return of the Jedi. And it's not centered really on the main characters. You follow Shara Bey, who is Poe Dameron's mother. So that's a nice little tag into that, which they even mentioned that in The Last Jedi novelization. But it's a fun idea. I wish they could do more on that because I think Shara Bey is a pretty interesting character because she was a pilot, but then also was put on this mission to find this force tree. Which remember how much we would talk about the force tree? It's like that's gonna come back in the movies. It's gonna be the Church of the Jedi, and it's gonna be the force trees. But that didn't happen. So, but it's fun. So you got to see stuff. They get to go like the original cast goes to Naboo, or I think just Leia and Shara, and maybe Luke. They go to Naboo, and you're like, oh, this is where you're from. Anyways, that was my number 2.
My number 1 is was given to George Lucas for writing it, but it was actually also written by Alan Dean Foster, and that is Star Wars. Star Wars, the novelization of the movie Star Wars. This is pretty much an entry point for you. It's actually a good book, great story. Star Wars, read it.
My number 1's also novelization. It is the expanded edition of Last Jedi. Why? Because I haven't read this good of a Star Wars book in at least 20 years when I started reading them as a young person, a YA. It's the movie, but with so much more and so much detail that you're like, wow. So if this book can excite you, then you'll go read whatever because you'll always want to recapture the excitement of like, this would have been amazing as a movie. So, yeah, that's why I chose number 1. And I've never been this excited about a Star Wars book in a long time, probably ever. So
it's probably the best of the new canon for sure.
From maybe the first time I read a Star Wars book, where the idea of there could be more to this, what? So,
yeah. So that is episode 89 of the Star Wars Show. That was this Rebel Scum podcast.
Rebel Scum podcast.
Any trivia question today or no?
Oh, trivia question.
Should we do it?
What?
No, God.
Do we have a prize? Are we getting a prize, or we just want to see?
No, we'll just shout out your names on the next show.
We will shout out your names. What is? Oh, I had one in my head. What is the name of the character that? God, who directed Iron Man? Favreau. What is his character's name in Han Solo? He voices a character. That's the only hint you get.
His toy is available. It's a Hot Wheels toy.
Yeah.
You can buy that tomorrow, April 13th.
So what is that?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. It really means a lot to us that you stuck around and hung out with us today to talk and love Star Wars like we do. If you have anything you want to talk about, put it in the comments below and we will engage with you that way. Hey guys, until next time, Brock. May the force of others be with you.
Always. This is weird. You haven't done that in a while. Hashtag Humboldt strong.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.